Hello everybody, I'm Rock and Bite. Welcome to the ping pong build guide. The build guide that I had promised, and I just want to, keep up on these. I promised a ping pong build guide. That's what I call him. A Odin, I believe, and a Zhang. And I'm gonna try and get these maybe all today, maybe not. We'll see. All right, this is aimed primarily at your arenas, your clashes, your jousts, shit like that. But you can probably get away with it because it's just items you can use situationally. You always want to look to counter build. Anyway, we're gonna, for the sake of starters, we're gonna put the support stuff in here because that's where I would normally play him if I do play him. It's actually had some pretty good times though. I've not recorded any of those. Anyway, you're gonna want to start out something like this here, where you're gonna get your watchers, which you should go to, and then of course your potions here. And then as for items I consider core on ping pong, this is gonna be Shoes of the Magi because let me explain this further here. It offers penetration and power, right? Well, let's see. Can we pull the abilities up here? We can. Alright, this ability here actually has decent base damage for what else it does. It has good scaling at 60%. That is pretty decent for magical. But the most important part is you got your dot damage on it, and that ticks 4 times. That is actually quite a bit of damage, but it ticks 4 times plus the initial. For the 5th hit would be the initial amount you take with 80 up to a 10, whatever, stuff like that. You're gonna need your pin, so as you're going through there, it's always negating the protections. Alright, let's get back to the build here. Next up on a core item. I'm sorry there's not a lot of variety, but that's just the nature of Smite when you're wanting to build tanky because there's not a lot of super good items. But you're going to be getting your breastplate. This is another core item. This is a core item on almost every build you're going to see me do, aside from the Zhang build, which will be different. So you got your pin boots, you got your breastplate of valor. I'm probably just going to put 3 things on here. I might put 4, we'll see. This will be another core item for your Hide of the Urchin because this will give you health and more protections. So you just put them on here, boom. Boom, you got like what, 200 protections at level 20. Granted, he does have his base protections here, as well as where's his health at? 25, 45. That's a lot of health. That is a lot of health. Now it takes a long time to get there, but just know when you get there, that's what you will have. I'm gonna take these off here. All right, damage-oriented items that you could get away with on ping pong. You could grab your E-staff because this gives you a nice amount of health and it gives you more power based off of your health. So if you have this and that, you're gonna have nearly 3,000 health to scale off of, which is just, it's beautiful. That'll put you at, where's power thing? 104 power. And that's not even counting your boots, which will put you up at 149 power. It's pretty good. Another damage item you can get away with on ping pong. You could honestly get away with a spear. If you're going for damage, gotta think, spear takes, how many ticks? So it takes like 3 ticks. It takes 3 ticks, 3 bits of damage. So there's the initial blast of his Furious Roar, and then like 2 more ticks of the 4 ticks, and then you're getting just straight damage after that. Penetration on him, I'm just going to say, is going to be more important than power if you're going the damage-oriented route, just because the way penetration is actually just amazing. Another damage item that you can pick up on ping pong. I always call him ping pong. Just for shits and gigs, guys, you could always grab a Soul Reaver. That way you're just really just shredding the living shit out of somebody if you hit him through 1. I'm gonna throw this here because I just throw that pretty much every Guardian as an option. Also, I'm just gonna, I guess. No, maybe I'll put that down there. I was gonna put boards here. I was saying maybe I'll just put this down here in consumables. Usually I just put it here for easy access later. Anyway, defensive items situationally. Okay, we have another physical defense item here. That would be Mystical Mail. But the recent buffs to this, the item is cheaper, and well, it's just cheaper, I believe. It's just cheaper and offers 10 more protections. So you get 300 health and then 40 physical protection as well as the passive. Having health and protections in a decent amount like this is very rare in Smite now. They do not like to offer that, aside from the Almighty God tier Hide of the Urchin. Praise the Hide of the Urchin. Anyway, generally what you do with this, if you're going this way, you're going to build like your boots, you can have your Breastplate of Valor, then your Hide of the Urchin, and you're like, well, I'm going to need some more health now, so you're like, well, I'm going to pick this up. Then after that, you'd be like, well, let's get an E-staff now. Then we're sitting here with like 1 slot left on our build, and like 3,200 health, and look at our power, 156, that's great. Where's the pin at? I don't even know where the hell pin is at on here. I'm hovering over it. What's that? So it's like, that's like 40 pin. It's 40 pin, that's beautiful. Plus, the pin you pick up off Spear affects your Mystical Mail because it's this magical damage around you. I don't think it works for your Shoes of the Magi, but the one that reduces their protections that way. That's why Void Stone would work as well, but I'm not going to put that on here. Next defensive item, we're going to have to put a magical defense item on here that you can pick up. You could get away with a Genji's, that's an option, but just for the sake of this, even though I feel like the item is I'm not really liking it too much, but you could probably get away with the Bulwark, honestly. It still has its shield, it's awesome. Protections are good. The health is a little bit low, but it has the shield, and that that makes up for it. CC reductions, whatever, it doesn't work on most of the shit in Smite, so just disregard that. Next up, you could always pick up a Mantle of Discord, but that's a really expensive item, so I'm going to go and have to throw Spirit Robe in the slot. Because this offers the mitigation when you get CC'd. And Smite and MOBAs in general generally have tons of CC all over the place. Now we've already discussed how crowd control reduction doesn't really do anything for you, but the passive of the 15% mitigation, that is amazing. That reduces true damage. It's rare in this game for there to be true damage, but it's that good that it reduces that. Plus it's more protection, so you have like Hide of the Urchin and Spirit Robe, and look at the protections we have with just 2 items in our base protections. That's actually insane. Now you would need health too, and more health than just this, but anyway. Pull this off of here now. Then we're going to go to our relic items. Excuse me. You got your baseline here. You got your shell, because shell's amazing. Gives everyone around you and yourself 45 of each protection for 5 seconds. That's really good. And then also, on top of that, it gives you even more mitigation in percent mitigation, which is the best kind. Of 15%. Now think. You're in a team fight, right? You get, say, you get like taunted by Athena. Let's just use that as a reference here. And then boom, your Spirit Robe procs, and then let's say you're getting out of it a little early because you have your CC reduction. It does work on taunts. Then you get out of that and you throw your shell. Your allies are mitigating. You're mitigating 30%. This is even better if you're playing Bacchus, by the way, because you have your passive. It's actually, you're just going to be taking like no damage. It's great. Next relics you're going to be picking up, or actives, whatever, will be Sprint. This is just a baseline because this completely nullifies Weakening Curse. It doesn't stop the healing amount, but you don't really care about the, what is it, like 60% reduced healing? Who cares? This here has a lower cooldown. It gives everyone speed, and it makes them immune to slows, which does remove the slowing effect of Creeping Curse. Whatever they call it now. Is it still called Creeping Curse? Oh, it's just called Curse now. Call it Creeping Curse. Well, it was Weakening before. Anyway. Next up, you could, in all honesty, you could get away with a blink on him. Pretty much it's just for blinking in. If you're going to go that route, you don't really need to do this, but you could. The reason is, if you want to save your jump to get out or to chase in further, which is something you can do, you'd have blink so you can go in there and throw your 2, knock them up, and then come down on and root them. It's not really for your ult anymore, because your ult's, hilariously fun to use. It's so slow, I love it. I was just kind of hoping that they'd up it to like an 8-second channel time. That way it would just be completely funny. But then it'd probably be OP, just as you'd have 8 seconds of CC immunity. Anyway, this is just gonna be baseline shit here. Just wards, etc. Alright, now I've covered this here. Let me just throw together a default thing that I would build. I'd have like Shoes of the Magi, Breastplate, Hide of the Urchin. I'd pick up like this here, probably grab a knee staff, and then finish it off with the Spirit Robe. And this would put me at a ton of protections. I'm not sure what the cooldown I have here. I think it was at 20. And 30% is good enough, really. That's good enough. You don't really need to always hit 40. Though it is nice to. It's not something that's necessary. As you see here, 279 physical prot, 123 magical prot. Most mages are really not a threat in this game, aside from very special cases such as auto attack based ones, and a few other cases of people who have like amazing amounts of burst. Alright, we're gonna go to abilities now. So first off, on ping pong, this is gonna be, well, I do a little different in Conquest. We're gonna aim this one more towards a Clash, because that's, I do that all the time. That's most of my videos now. It's Clash, because I fucking love it. Arena's nice too. Anyway, you're gonna get your Furious Roar. You love that Furious Roar. So it offers the damage reduction, which I do believe works on mobs. So it is just for 1 second. So you get like 1 hit if you time it right. Offers a good amount of damage, and base damage, percent damage. I'm just going to throw this little addendum in here. If you're starting in Conquest, I figure I have to throw this in here. You're typically going to want to start on your Sky Cutting Axe, because that is a 130-ish damage. Please excuse my math, because that's how much you can just have right there immediately. Plus, I don't think the protection amount works. You have to a god for that to prop up, but when you're in the air, it's whatever. Next up, you're going to get your Hook Slam, in which Sky Cutting Axe. You want everything finished out right here. You want all your abilities. You need access to everything in your kit. You get your Furious Roar. Then you get your ult for fun. Now his ult does force beads quite a bit, and it will force other people's ults. So you got to think of that. It's not worthless or anything. It is hilarious, but it does force these things. It makes it rather powerful. After this, you're going to be grabbing your Furious Roar, and after that, you're going to go for your Hook Slam. This offers you more root duration. That's purely what it's for. You're not really caring about the damage. After this, I'm not gonna. When I play him, I do not level his ult because I usually just use it exclusively to take away people's to get their abilities off of them and their beads. So next time we're gonna go for that, and then we're gonna stack up here and get as much of his hook slam finish as we can. Then after this, I will go for his ult because we don't really care about the protections you get from this. You're already tanky as hell when you're building like this. And finish up your Sky Cutting Axe, your Whirlwind of Rage and Steel, Whirlwind of Comic Relief, you know. Alright, so this pulls it all together rather nicely, I think. As you see here, I want to thank you guys so much. Oh, right. I was going to thank you so much for watching. You're going to usually end up with something like this here. It doesn't matter which order you do these in, just play situationally. You always got to think the counter build, and I believe I provided the tools necessary to do so. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you so choose. I should have the Odin one and the Zhonghui one out within the next 2 weeks. Don't hold me to it. I'm going to do my best, and if I don't, feel free to remind me. So thank you guys so much for watching. Goodbye.